Takedowns are a really important skill in all grappling arts because we have to be able to get the fight safely to the ground when we need to. Usually we're going to work for double underhooks like we do with our pummeling drill. When I have 2 underhooks, I can control my buddy's hips, do all sorts of really powerful takedowns like the bear hug takedown. Often they won't let me get it, and we'll have one arm over and one arm under in what we call the over-under clinch, which is kind of a neutral position. Couple takedowns we can do from there. We do the ogoshi hip throw, which is a classic. But sometimes you're gonna wanna, for whatever reason, you might want to go for a single leg. Now, a single leg is a super powerful takedown. It's one of my favorites. We could spend an entire year just studying setups, entries, and finishes for single legs. Today, we're gonna do what's called a snatch single, as opposed to a sweep single. A snatch single is where I'm gonna be real close, not go to the mat, and snatch my partner's leg up, as opposed to sweeping to the side. The over-under clinch position makes this really simple to do. So if I'm in the over-under clinch, however we got here, right? I would generally prefer double unders, but a lot of times my opponent knows that and doesn't want me to. One thing I want to avoid, I don't want to walk toward their underhook, because you see how I'm in balance now? If I try to move this way, Jamie's not even doing anything, and if Jamie were to choose to do something, I'd be so out of balance, so I was out of balance there, and Jamie can throw me super easily. So instead we want to walk toward the underhook, in this case my right hand, which allows me to stay in base and get perpendicular to a position where I can attack. I want my head lower than their head, whether I'm going to enter into a throw or enter into a takedown. So we would go for ogoshi in certain situations, but today we're going to take this hand and snatch up a single. Now when I do this, you notice that I'm not going to the ground myself. Sometimes we'll do that when we shoot, but today we're going to snatch this up. You'll see this taught a number of different ways. I like to connect my elbow pit to their knee pit and then grab for their Achilles, snatching it up. Here's one thing you must do. A lot of things you can choose to do because there's a lot of ways to do this right. You must keep your spine straight. I recommend keeping your chest forward, which is a detail I learned from Emma Bruntel. I like to use my head and keep that on the inside. A lot of people will just push that way to make them hop, but I prefer to grab and turn to the right toward my outside underhook, which allows me to pull their hip and allow them to deposit them on the mat. The advantage to this is, you'll notice I didn't have to go to the mat with Jamie. I can choose to, right? Maybe if it's a grappling match and I want to start passing the guard, but in a self-defense situation, often we'll just want to get out of there. So I'll show that one more time. Let's do it from this angle. So I have this underhook, right? I will grab Jamie if I want to stay in the clinch. If I want to move, I want the underhook to be similar to what we call an Iranian underhook, and flare my elbow and go out here. Many takedowns we could enter, but if we want the snatch single, I'm going to shoot here, and I like to grab the Achilles. If my spine gets bent, Jamie's going to shove my head, and I'm not going to get it. If I push my chest forward, go ahead and shove my head. No, seriously, shove my head. Jamie's going to make themselves off balance. So instead, I grab. You see this elbow? It's going to come toward the camera, and I'm going to take a back step with my right foot. And now I end up on top. Maybe I want to enter a passing position, or maybe I just want to get away. Either way, this is a snatch single. It's really simple for self-defense jiu-jitsu, sport jiu-jitsu, gi or no gi. It's a classic, and the classics never go out of style.